Habari za muda huu, mwanafunzi wangu. Habari za masomo, unaendeleaje? Karibu kwenye kipindi chetu cha Kiswahili KSW 121. Leo tunajifunza kuhusu applicatives, utendea katika Kiswahili. Maana yake ni nini? Applicatives in Kiswahili, there are 4 types or even categories, or there are 4 morphemes, or we can call them in a simple word, syllable. As you remember that, syllables in Swahili can be even vowels. That means vowels can be syllables. In this topic of applicatives, we have 4 applicatives for today's class. As we go on, we can cover more. The first one is E, the second is A, the third li and le. How do we apply them? Normally, the position of applicatives are in verbs, in Kiswahili verbs. And where do they stay? Normally they stay after the stem of the verb, before the last vowel. Let us take this example of the verb pika. The infinitive is kupika. In this infinitive of kupika, you drop the ku and then you remain with the stem. No, you remain with the base, pika. And remember, this base can be used as command or imperative as well. So what is taking place, or what is happening here, is that you take the pick as the stem or the root, and then you put the a little bit aside. Don't drop it. It is going to be used. So we use the applicative e. In pika, we get pikia. And take the stem, take the base, soma, from the infinitive kusoma. So we have another verb, kusoma, and then the base is soma. And how can we put the applicative here? We say somea. Okay? So look at the first verb. Is pikia and somea. What is happening? How could you know that you apply E or A? My dear student, look at the stem. The stem pick, in between there's a vowel E. And soma, you see that there's a O. So this is the rule. Whenever you see the stem of the verb, the stem has the vowel like E, A, and U. E, A, U. So these vowels, normally the applicative should be E, E. And if you have the stem with A and O, the applicative is A. Look at the table. The first table shows you where do you apply E, where do you apply A. Let us go a little bit further. How comes when you have the verb ending with the 2 vowels? For example, you have the verb nunua, nunua. And then you have the verb tumia, tumia. And then you have another verb, chukua, chukua. So look at these verbs. The formula is the same. Where do you put E and now you have li? Where do you put le and now you have, where do you put le where you have a or o? Now, when we say that's a nunua, nunua, okay? Remember, there's a u in the stem. So we say nunulia, nunulia. And then when you have a chomoa, chomoa, we say that's a chomolea, chomolea. So look at the verb in the table 3. Look at the verb in the table 3. You have this list of verbs that ends with the vowels. How can we get the applicatives there? And apart from that, what does it mean? The applicatives, what are the functions? When you look at the verbs, when you put in the sentence, for example, when we say that mama anapika chakula, this is the normal one. Mama anapika chakula. Mama is cooking, or mama cooks. If you say that mama anampikia chakula mtoto, mama anampikia chakula mtoto, that means mama is cooking for mtoto. This is the function of applicative. When you say that mama anawanunulia watoto wake zawadi, mama anawanunulia watoto wake zawadi, and then you see that there's a li. That means mama, because of this verb ends with a double vowel, that's why we have li. But it's something to note here. Most of the applicatives takes the object markers of the nouns. And the object markers of the nouns here, these are the nouns comes at the end or after. Object markers, these are markers for the nouns which comes after the verb. So if you say that mama anampikia mtoto, mtoto is the noun, comes after the verb. And mtoto is the singular, that's why we get the object marker for the mtoto. If you have mtoto, you have the plural is watoto. That's why we have mama anawanunulia watoto wake zawadi. The wa there before the stem of the verb. This is the object marker. So most of them, not all, most of them, the applicatives, normally they are accompanied with the object markers. Look at the examples in the tables. Furthermore, I would like you to note about the verb piga. We can say that the verb piga, this is the stem, or this is the base. The verb piga is the base. And this one has multiple. We can say that this is a polysemic verb. This is a polysemic verb. We have more, or there are many different meanings. Look at the table. When you say that mama anampigia simu mtoto, that means mama is calling, okay? Is calling mtoto. But also say that mama anampigia simu, maybe mama is calling somebody on behalf of mtoto. Mtoto was supposed to call this, to make this call, but mama is going makes this call on behalf of mtoto. But if you say that mama anampigia uvivu wake, okay? That means mama anampigia mtoto uvivu wake. That means the reason for mama to beat mtoto is because of the laziness. Look at the table for further clarification. So, we have these applicatives in Kiswahili language, which might bring different meanings. Actually, different meanings from the verbs we get because of the use of the applicatives. The use of applicatives give us different meanings. Look at the verbs. I think this introduction about these applicatives might give you a way or might help you to understand. So try to do the exercise in your groups. Translate them. from Kiswahili to English and English to Kiswahili. But you can just try to put this in your Bantu language, Chichewa. You can understand more. When you put them, and Chichewa is the language that you understand, is your mother tongue, might help you to understand this one in Kiswahili, because these are the Bantu languages. Otherwise, looking forward to have further discussion with you in our Zoom class next week. Kwaheri, all the best.